Yo, what's good, y'all? It's your motherfucking boy. I ain't gotta say no names, right? But I am, anyways, your boy Bubba, and you are watching Bubba's React. Yes, I have not done a Bubba's React in a long ass time, y'all. I'm so sorry. Life was happening, and just shit was going on. So let me just refresh our mind right quick. So Bubba's React is the social commentary of Bubba's Banter. It's the extension. So I've been wanting to keep my podcast like just very intimate and just like conversational wise, I should say. And so I decided to just do like this on the side because I was like, and only on YouTube because I'm like, it's better to do it like this versus like creating a bunch of like it just doesn't flow right with the podcast. And I realized that after a while, I was like, okay, when I wanted to go strictly YouTube, I was like, okay, Bubba's React will do good because it's me reacting to certain things. So what Bubba's React is going to be is social commentary on all different types of things. So articles, music, albums, reaction videos to things that's happening on the interwebs, things like that. So I'm going to be doing that. So today I am going to be doing an article. But before I jump into that, let's go ahead. And y'all know what to do, right? Because I tell y'all every podcast. Hit that motherfucking subscribe button, please. And also give me a thumbs up and a share. And you know why? Because those things are free and it gets me out in the algorithm. And I really would love your support. Okay. So please do that. Also, follow me on my social medias, which is The Real Doc Dre, Bubba's Banter Podcast, and Bubba's Banter on Facebook. Okay. And my TikTok, which is Bubba Cub 88. So follow me on there too. Okay. I appreciate that. Also, please, if you do like listening to podcasts, please follow me on all of my streaming platforms, which is iHeartRadio, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. But if you are listening to me on Spotify, please make sure you do because this podcast that I have is hosted by Spotify for creators. Okay. You can click the link down in the description and you'll see exactly where I'm streaming at and all my follows and all those things. Okay. All right. Let's get into tonight's topic. So, y'all know, right? This week's podcast, I actually talked about the Bears. I'm talking about the gay Bears again, okay? We're talking about the gay Bears again. Yes, that's what we're doing. I don't really want to get into what a gay bear is because if you watch the show, you'll know exactly what a gay bear is, and you'll know the hierarchy and all those things that I talked about and explained it in that show. Um, so I'll just keep it short. So what a gay bear is a bigger, hairy, masculine man, okay? Per se. Some people will say otherwise, but that's what it is, okay? Let's just go with that. Okay. So if I don't know that this week's episode is about an article that the New York Times made. Look at this shit. The Bears are on Ozempic. Yes. The New York Times posted this shit and I was so excited because I was like, first off, it's the Bears. Like, it's a bear shit. Like, I have to talk about this because I'm a bear, right? So I was like, I had to talk about it. And I saw it on X and it was trending and I was like, this is actually a fun, corny ass article, but fun, you know what I'm saying? And I loved reading it because it really brought out some stuff that I'm feeling already, especially on my own weight loss journey. And I was like, man, I'm feeling some type of way. So I wanted to just, react to it. So yeah, the Bears are on Zipic, and so the writer entails some of the locals from Provincetown. There was an event a historical bear event called Bear Week in P Town, and it happens like sometime in July. And pretty much just talking about how the Bears are not the Bears there anymore. Like it just looks a little different because of the GLP-1s and also like weight loss surgery too, probably because that's kind of what they talked about in here a little bit. So the title is "The Bears Are on Ozempic," an annual celebration of the Bears. Gay men on the bigger and hairier side feels different in the age of GLP-1s. And my thing is that really true? To a degree, it is kind of, but not really. Um, because I feel like there's a lot to talk about here. Like there's a lot to actually talk about. I feel like there's a lot of nuance. And that's my favorite new buzzword is nuance. So I found this to be really, really funny. Actually adorable, actually. I found it to be cute, funny, and adorable and, cute because I feel like that was the running joke. I feel it was very like clever a clever way to actually start the article. Actually, I should say, like these two are literally dressed up as park rangers looking for the bears, and the joke becomes like the bears are harder to find. That's one of the taglines in the article. The bears are harder to find. But I immediately had the question like, harder to find according to whom? Like, according to whom? Because is this an actual like measurable change in the Bear Week population, or is this like a long time attendees who are noticing like the visual makeup of the bears or the visual makeup of the crowd that may be changing before their eyes? Like, there was a lot of thoughts that went into it because like, who the fuck do you like? Okay, perception versus measurable change tends to be a little different, because on one hand, you may have like people who, and I have to say that this is the 25th, anniversary. So this is a historical event. This isn't like a one time event. This happens every year, So the people who go all the time, the long time attendees, they may feel some type of way because they're like, oh my God, the Bears are not here anymore. Or, I think if you are into bears and you go to bear stuff all the time, you kind of may notice that the bears are starting to get smaller because people are starting to, make healthier choices with their lives, right? Um, but I feel like just because there are fewer larger bodies doesn't mean that there isn't larger bodies in the environment. Like, I'm pretty sure there was a lot of big bear type of guys that were there. So, um, you know, it also made me question like whether like we don't realize that the bear community has had so many different types of bodies around, and are we just focused on the bigger guys, like the bigger bears? Because there is like a hierarchy of big bears, and they're like chub, like there's like a like I said in my podcast, a hierarchy system of types of different bodies, and I think that's the thing that we don't think about is like the different types of bodies that may be there. At least to me, that's what I'm saying. But then I thought about this too, and it made me think about while I was reading the article. After I read the article, or just going through the article, I should say, scanning through it, because I scanned through it like twice just to see if I could feel something. Because at first I thought it was corny. But anyways, uh, it brought me to think about like the thing that the article did really well was explain why there were fewer explain why seeing fewer bears at this event, you know, would actually matter to a lot of people who go to this event, or just go to bear things in general, right? Like seeing fewer traditional bears, if you would say, it would make you feel some type of way, I think. And I understand why it, would. You know, this is important because I don't want us to talk about bears like we're just talking about a random ass body type. Bear culture came out of a need for men who didn't necessarily fit the traditional gay beauty standard to have somewhere where they can feel and be desirable, right? So when the physical makeup of that community changes, I understand why people have an emotional reaction to it because I mean, damn, where did the bears go? Um are we talking about the loss of a body type though, or the loss of a space where people felt represented at? This part of the article I really resonated with a lot, and I really did appreciate this sentence right here. It's completely a different kind of bear week. I really did appreciate that because he's not saying that bear week is worse or it's bad. He's saying that it's a completely different experience for him. And reading through what he went through, he lost over 150 pounds between GLP-1s and medication. He had 3 surgeries to remove skin, and all these things. And, I think that's so dope, but I think people don't realize the major changes, in your appearance can change your social experiences or your experiences in social spaces, and for someone who's just lost 94 pounds, after having bariatric surgery, like, your experiences do change. Like, people see you more, they notice you more, they give you more validation, they notice you're finally seen almost, and it's kind of crazy how it's changed. Like people really do see who I am. They want to have sex with me more. They want to talk to me more. They want to like they don't flake on me as much as they used to. My dating confidence is a little different. I talk to people now. I can have conversations with folks. You know, you see how people respond to you. Like I'm not as nervous to talk to people anymore. Like the way people approach you, you're more approachable now. Um, like there's a difference between being in the same community while experiencing it from a different position. Like I feel like I'm not ugly, but I felt like I was the ugly person back then, and now it's like back then you didn't want me, now I'm hot, you all on me now. No, I'm not saying that, but I'm saying like it's different, and I do believe that like body the body changes your identity almost, or just changes the way how other people perceive you, and it's just sometimes it can be a little too much, um but yeah, I don't know. That's just how I felt about this part of the article, because you know there was just so much. Even another person in here, he lost a whole bunch of weight. He was a adult filmmaker. His name was Charlie Nutt, I think. Let me actually go down. And that's right here, that's Renee. Looking fine as hell. God damn, motherfucker. Daddy. Oh my god. Oh, daddy. Yeah, daddy. They all fine. All these people are fine as fuck. I know Max. I'm Facebook friends with him. He's really cool. Go further. This guy right here, he also lost weight through having bariatric surgery and GLP-1s. He lost how much again? I think, let me see, it's up here somewhere. Oh, he's 6'5". He lost 215 pounds through bariatric surgery and GLP-1s. Like that's crazy. He's also like a adult content creator, and he said that it helps. He feels better, like he's receiving attention now. But he did say he feels like he lost his tribe, and I think that's another thing too that we have not touched on, is that sometimes you do lose friends in this journey, which is kind of weird. And like people being attracted to you, also you kind of lose that too. And sometimes you get a different type of attraction from a different crowd of people, which I've experienced. So yeah, I understand that, and I can resonate with that a bunch. But this article took a turn in the conversation that I was not expecting. I was not expecting this shit right here. I was just not. No, I was not. But this part of the article, I cannot believe, y'all. Let's read a little bit. People have been telling us that some of the bears are not spending as much because they're trying to lose weight, August said. We have a friend who has a cupcake shop, and they are ordering the small cupcakes and not the big cupcakes. Girl, we can't eat that much. That's why. And some of us probably shouldn't be eating sugar. So that's why we buying the small ones. Don't listen. Beggars can't be choosy. Like at least we bought something, motherfucker. The bakery, which the bakery to which he was referring to is Scott Cakes, which was located on a few blocks east on Commercial Street. The friend he was speaking about is Scott Cunningham, its owner. Cunningham did not seem eager to discuss the fraught topic of the disappearing bear. After all, bears have been embracing their girth in Provincetown during this official week of festivities for years, before the term body, body positivity existed in the popular lexicon, and when it still seems impossible for for many for many to lose significant weight without surgery. Bear Week is one of the most profitable weeks of the year for local businesses, according to Nina Cantor, Provincetown's director of tourism. The Bears, Cunningham added, put me on the map. He first arrived in Provincetown in 2009. Back then, Cunningham was an actor. He was there to perform in a play, and then decided after 6 weeks to stay put. He started selling his signature cupcakes on a cart on Commercial Street. Let's keep reading because I know some more down here. And these men are so fine. I think that's Gabe right there. His sexy ass. I follow him on Instagram. He's sexy as fuck. Big motherfucker. He's so sexy. I know this person too, but I forgot his name. Um, Instagram people. I should just say Instagram people. This year, Cunningham said Bear Week business had been roughly flat compared to last year, but was coming disproportionately from the heterosexual day tippers. The other day, someone came in and said, "I lost 65 pounds. My doctor is so happy." Cunningham recalled, and then he ordered a mini. Girl, be fucking happy. Be fucking for real. Actually, be fucking for real. You should be happy somebody even see this privilege that y'all. I ain't gonna get on my kick, but no, like it makes you think about this a lot too because like you have to understand that people are changing their eatings, the way they eat, the way they live, the way they move, and these medications and surgery is making that possible. I feel amazing by losing 94 pounds. Like I feel like a different person. I can bend down better. I can move better. I fit in seats better. Like I just feel like a whole different person. And so it's so weird to me that you rather profit off of somebody living in bad health than like be happy that people are actually losing weight and living longer, prosperous lives. Like it's just so weird to me that you felt. And again, I can't read this as a joke. I don't know if it's a joke or if it's just this person being silly, but like it came off very catty gay. So like I didn't like it a little bit. Like I laughed my ass off about it because it just like you cannot be fucking serious. Like be fucking for real. That you're this you are fuck it was beyond me when I read that shit. Like, girl, sit down. Please sit down. Like, I cannot. So this part of the article, I kind of feel some type of way. I ain't gonna sit here and hold y'all. I feel some type of way. Let's read a little bit of it. Michael, 48, who was wearing a gold lame harness and matching shorts, is considerably smaller. Groundbreaking. They have an open relationship and asked that their last names be omitted out of concern for the professional ramifications of discussing their personal lives publicly. Groundbreaking. It's always motherfuckers like you that like to throw stones and hide your hands. Um, but let's read what this motherfucker said. Steven, by virtue of not going on GLP-1s and remaining a typical bear, said that he's finding himself in higher demand this year. He was the picture of what brought guys to Provincetown in the first place, a prototype in ever shorter supply now that many bears have lost weight. Michael in short of Michael in search of guys who physically resemble Steven said that he was having a tougher time. If people feel better, good for them, Michael said of the GLP-1 users. I'm not going to go to bed with a skinny guy. I mean, it's okay that you don't want to go to bed with a skinny guy, bro. Like, I am not going to knock you for not wanting to go to bed with a skinny guy because it's your preference. But you also have to understand that you don't have agency over somebody else's body. Like, you can't tell people like what to be attracted to and what not to be attracted to. Like, you don't have ownership over people's bodies. And I think like people want to lose weight, they want to lose weight. You know what I'm saying? Um, like there's a difference between like that's not my type and that you shouldn't have changed. Because one of the things that bothers me a lot is that, like now that I've lost weight, I've heard people say to me, and I feel like it's a backhanded compliment, and y'all gotta stop saying that shit. Is don't lose too much weight now. Don't lose too much. Fuck you, bitch. Your ugly ass. Oh, fucking Jimmy the Cricket face looking ass. Like, some of y'all really be trying it. Like some of y'all really be trying to. That's a backhanded compliment to me because you don't know nothing about weight loss in general, and especially some of y'all that are overweight, looking like you're about to have a heart attack after eating a burger. So, bitch, you should follow suit. Like, don't tell me not to lose too much weight. I know how much weight to fucking lose. Like, I just think it's weird as fuck to me how like you can celebrate a community or one part of the community without shaming the other. And I think that's the issue that I have with people with that. Because I feel like yes, he has the right to have a type. Like you like bigger guys, cool. You don't want to have sex. I have my types. I'm pretty sure I've said, oh, I'm not really interested in skinny guys, or I'm probably not gonna have sex with a skinny guy or whatever. And not saying that I've never had sex with a skinny guy because I have, but I just think it's like mean girlish to say I'm not gonna have sex with it. That's what it gave. Like you 48 years old, girl. Like, girl, you're 48 years old. Why you acting like this? Like, stop it. Why are you doing this at 48, girl? Like, it's not cool. Like, grow the fuck up. That's me. That's Regina George behavior. I'm not trying to force you to have sex with them either. I'm just saying the way you delivered that, like, oh yeah, I just love me a bigger guy. Like, what's wrong with saying that? Versus like, big up your type versus like putting down the other people. It feels scummy and nasty. Like, girl, like, you ain't gotta do all that. You ain't gotta do all that. Like, yeah, that shit made me feel some type of way. I was like, nah, I'm good. Like, I'm cool. I'm cool with that. Like, yeah. So personally, to me, like, the article was corny but fun, and I feel like exaggerating. But it was kind of cool to see that someone wrote in the New York Times about us, like the Bears, and it really made me feel kind of like happy. Corny. I'm being corny. But no, I think that um it is what it is. I do think that there were some parts of it that was like super shallow, but there were some good parts in there, and it made me examine things. It made me look at myself in my own weight loss journey and the things that I'm going through with losing weight. Um, I really wish people can really put themselves in our perspectives, our positions, I mean, that are losing weight right now currently. And, the things that we have to go through to lose the weight. And it's not just necessarily for the vanity, but also to feel better. Like, to be honest, I'll give up all this shit. Fuck all this shit. Fuck all this bear shit. If that means I can prolong my life, I can care less about being a bear. If I can prolong my life and, you know, be live longer, I'm so happy that I had the surgery because I feel so much better. Like, bro, I just went to Dory Alley. I think I just said this. I don't know if I said it, but I'll say it again. I don't give a fuck. I was able to sit in an airplane seat like comfortably, like with no problems. Every time I got on an airplane, I felt uncomfortable sitting in those fucking seats. Now I could fit in the fucking seat and put my seatbelt on. Like, like being able to bend down, tie my shoes without feeling exhausted, walking up motherfucking stairs. Like, you know, I feel like this surgery was so worth it. And, I don't think I lost a lot of weight, but, at the same time, like I'm grateful for what I was able to experience and what I've learned thus far. So to me, I think that this was the best thing ever and I don't regret it. And I think no one should regret trying to become healthier. You could be a bigger guy and become healthier, you know. Um, yeah, I don't want to just feel uncomfortable in my body anymore. And so, I feel very comfortable with who I am right now and in this body right now. I feel so good and I feel relieved and I feel sexy and I feel confident and I feel just amazing. So, um, anybody out there that's trying to lose weight, that's a bear, do it. Don't let these motherfuckers tell you if you sexy, you sexy. And that's the thing. I lost, 94 pounds and I'm still sexy as fuck and I'm just getting sexier. Like, ain't no stopping this. My face card never declines. So, hey, that's how I feel about it. But let me stop it. Anyways, y'all, I gotta get in the bed. I gotta get a. I hope you guys make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you give me a thumbs up. Make sure you share this video. Cause why? It's free, number one, and it gets me out there in the algorithm. And support your boy. And if you really want to support me, that is the easiest thing you can do is by just hitting share, or a like, or a thumbs up on this video. Okay. Also, follow me on my social medias, which is the real Doc Dre, Bubba's Banter Podcast, and Bubba's Banter on Facebook. And also follow me on my TikTok, which is BubbaCub88. Also, if you like listening to podcasts, please make sure you listen to me on my streaming platforms. I am on iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. But if you are using Spotify, please make sure you listen to me on there because this podcast that I host It's hosted by Spotify for creators, okay? So please make sure you do that. And I'll see y'all when I see y'all, all right? Peace.